Hello everyone. Today we are starting with a new topic, that is tax collected at source. In the previous lectures we have discussed that government has various modes of collecting tax, out of which one was tax deducted at source, which I've already discussed. Second way is tax collected at source, and it is known as TCS and is covered under section 206C, that is TCS, tax collected at source. In order to understand this, let's have an example. Suppose there is one seller and there is a buyer, and buyer wants to buy, this person wants to buy a car. So seller is going to sell a car to the buyer. And supposingly the value of this car is rupees 20 lakhs. Okay. Now what will happen is the buyer will obviously give a payment of rupees 20 lakh to the seller. Fine. But here comes the role of TCS. According to TCS, the government says that the person who is going to buy any good, okay, along with it itself, it is going to submit the tax on the given payment itself. Okay. Supposingly that whatever amount on this rupees 20 lakh is, so this person, the buyer, is going to not only he's going to make the payment of rupees 20 lakh, but he is also going to make the payment of tax which is applicable on this value of rupees 20 lakh. Okay. So this person, the buyer, is going to pay full amount, that is rupees 20 lakh, along with the tax which he needs to pay to the seller. Okay. So he is going to pay the total amount to the seller. Total amount includes the value of the commodity plus the tax which is imposed upon that. At the source itself, the tax is collected. Okay. The tax is collected from the buyer. So the seller will collect the tax from the buyer at the time of purchase. Okay. And the seller is going to collect total amount, that is value of the commodity as well as the tax imposed upon that. Right. So this total amount will be collected by the seller from the buyer. Now, in this total amount, it includes 20 lakh rupees, which the seller is going to keep it for himself. That is the value of the car. Along with it has the TCS amount, that is the tax amount. Now what the seller is going to do, the seller is going to deposit this tax to the government. Okay. Out of this total amount, the value of the commodity is rupees 20 lakh, which the seller is going to keep it with himself, and the tax, which is TCS, which is collected from the buyer at the source itself, the seller is going to deposit that tax to the government. Fine. And when the buyer is going to file its return, so whatever amount of tax he has, so from that he will avail the credit of TCS, which has already been deducted by the seller. Okay, not deducted, I mean that is collected by the seller. Right. So the buyer has already given a tax to the seller, and the seller has deposited the tax with the government. So at the time of filing its return, the buyer is going to get the credit of tax, that is TCS, which has already been collected by the seller. Okay. So remaining amount will be paid to the government by the buyer. Now what are the benefits of TCS? Why there is a need of TCS? Okay. There will be timely collection of tax. So the government does not have to wait for the year end and then collect its tax revenue. So what will happen with the help of TCS is there will be timely collection of tax. As and when the transactions will happen, so and then the tax will be deposited with the government, and government will never run short of revenue. So over the period of time, over the period of year itself, the government is going to have a good flow of tax as a source of revenue. Okay. Second will be the transactions will be documented with the government. The government will come to know that this person has already given a tax. So that means this person has to file its ITR. Right. So person cannot escape in this way. Fine. So these transactions will be documented with the government. That means these transactions will be in the knowledge of the government. And so and then the actions can be taken. Alright. Coming on to the tax collected at source. Now that I have given you a brief introduction about what tax collected at source is, let's discuss its definition. Its definition says every person being a seller, who the government is saying a seller, every person being a seller shall at the time of debiting or at the time of receipt. At the time of debiting means the seller has debited his account by the amount that he is going to receive, or when he has actually received the amount, whichever is earlier. Okay, at that time only he will collect from the buyer. So in this place, the seller is going to collect from the buyer a sum equal to the following percentages as a part of income tax. So at the source itself, when the transaction is going to happen, the seller is going to collect the tax from the buyer. Now under TCS, there are certain commodities on which the prescribed rate of TCS is mentioned. So you need to remember those rates. So these are alcoholic liquor for human consumption. On that, it is 1% rate. Tendo lease, it is 5%. Then timber obtained under forest lease, it is 2.5%. Timber obtained by any mode other than under the forest lease, it is 2.5% again. Any other foreign produce not being timber or tendo leaves, it is 2.5%. If there is a scrap, it is 1%. And minerals being coal or lignite or iron ore, it is 1%. So these are the listed commodities on which the rate of TCS has already been mentioned. So if there is a transaction of these commodities at this rate, the prescribed rates, the TCS will be collected. Okay. Now, second is motor vehicle. So whenever the person is going to purchase a motor vehicle, okay, so the seller who is selling the motor vehicle will collect a tax from the buyer. The buyer means who is going to buy the motor vehicle. Okay, so every person being a seller who receives an amount as consideration for the sake of motor vehicle. At what amount the TCS will be collected? At the amount exceeding rupees 10 lakh. So if any motor vehicle, if its value is exceeding rupees 10 lakh, then at the time of receipt, whenever that payment will be done, the tax will be collected from the buyer. Who will collect the tax? The seller is going to collect the tax. How much? 1%. Okay, so that is why I gave you an example of car in the starting. So here what will happen is the value of the car was 20 lakh. Upon it, the person is going to pay 1% as TCS also. So 1% of 20 lakh is rupees 20,000. So total amount he is going to pay to the seller is 20 lakh 20,000. Out of which 20 lakh seller is going to keep it with himself, and this 20,000 TCS, that is tax collected at source, will be deposited to the government by the seller. Alright. Now, at the time of filing the return, supposingly the person has, who is the buyer, and supposingly this tax liability is rupees 50,000, and out of which TCS has already been deducted, that is rupees 20,000. So remaining 30,000 he is going to pay to the government. For the TCS, he is going to get the tax credit. Alright. Next is lease or license. So any person who is a seller who grants a lease or license for some purposes, those purposes are parking lots, toll plaza, or mining and quarrying, and it does not include the mineral oil. Okay, so any person who grants a lease for these purpose to another person who is buyer, who is taking this contract, okay, excluding any public sector company. The buyer does not include any public sector company. So this person seller at the time of debiting or receipt, whichever is earlier, will collect TCS. Okay, so the rates of this parking lot is 2%, toll plaza is 2%, and mining and quarrying is again 2%. Let's take an example. Suppose the contract, the person, there is a buyer, and suppose he is taking a contract of parking lot from the government at rupees 50 lakh. Okay, this contract amount is rupees 50 lakh. So government is giving a contract to the person. So the person is going to pay rupees 50 lakh to the government. But he is also going to pay the TCS also. Here the rate of parking lot is 2%. So 2% of 50 lakh is 1 lakh. So total this person is going to pay 51 lakh to the government. This is the case of lease or license. Alright. Now there is a proper definition given that who all can be included in the seller. So the seller includes the central government, state government, any local authority, any corporation or authority established under central or state government, any company, any firm, any cooperative society. So all the persons are included, and individual and HUF are also included if there is a tax requirement in the tax audit requirement was required in the last year, and it is covered under section 44AB that if there is a business exceeding turnover of rupees 1 crore or the profession for rupees 50 lakh, then there will be tax audit required, and in that case the individual and HUF can also collect TCS. All right, and who can be the buyer? Any person who obtains specific goods or right to receive such goods in any sale by the way of auction, tender, or any other mode. Please write here it is tender. The T is missing. Okay. So any person who is obtaining the goods. However, it does not include, so it has certain exceptions to the buyer. Who it does not include: any public sector company, any central government, state government, embassy, high commission, legislation, commission, consulates. That means any government body is not included in the form of buyer, because the tax is collected from the buyer. The government is not going to pay the tax to the government itself. Okay, and a buyer in retail or sale of such purchase of such goods purchased by him for the personal consumption. Now let's in this slide he is actually, for the personal consumption, he is talking of actually these commodities. Okay, any alcoholic liquor or tangible leaves or timber. Okay, let's just understand with the help of example. Yeah, so in this case, supposingly there is a liquor company who is manufacturing the liquor. That company is actually distributing the liquor to the distributor. Distributor will sell it further to the retailer, and retailer will further sell it to the consumer for the final consumption. So out of these two, the seller is who? Company. So the company is going to collect TCS from the distributor. Okay. Out of these two, the distributor is the seller. So the distributor is going to collect the tax from the retailer, that is TCS. Okay. Out of these two, the retailer and the consumer, the seller is retailer. But in the last stage, if the retailer is going to collect TCS from each and every consumer who is buying liquor, so it will be very difficult for the retailer to deposit each and every tax with the government. Okay, so that is why it is written that if a buyer in a retail sale of such goods purchased by him for personal consumption. Okay, in this case the consumer is taking liquor for the personal consumption, so in that case it will not be included under the definition of buyer. Next is for the motor vehicle. So any person who obtains in any sale goods of the nature specified in the subsection but does not include, for the case of motor vehicle, it does not include the central government, state government, again any government body. It does not include any local authority or a public sector company which is engaged in the business of carrying passengers. So if any public sector company who is engaging in the business, supposedly they are having buses and all, so if they buy goods for their business, so in that case TCS will not be subtracted. All right. So there are certain exceptions to the TCS also, to whom TCS is not applicable. Okay, TCS will not be applicable to those persons who give in writing, who give a declaration in writing or give a proof in writing to the person who is collecting tax. Okay, that these the commodities which the person is buying will be utilized for the purpose of manufacturing, processing, or producing articles or things, or for the purpose of generation of power. If for these purposes the goods are being bought, then TCS will not be applicable. And not for trading purpose. Not for trading purpose means you are buying goods and then selling goods further and keeping a profit. So if it is for trading purpose, then TCS will be applicable. But if it not for TCS purpose, so if you're producing the goods, if you're buying the goods for the purpose of manufacturing, you're doing certain processing, or you are producing certain articles, then TCS will not be applicable. So this is all for the TCS. Next, we shall continue in the next lecture. Thank you.